Sahana bhavatu Sahano bhunaktu Sahaviryam karavavai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. As we all know, there are two aspects to any teaching: the theory and the practicals. The theory of the teaching is all about learning the subject, the principles of it, and the various ways in which that subject is applicable in our daily life. But practicals is to actually experiment it out, first in a controlled laboratory environment and then in the real life. And then only our understanding of the subject is complete. We all, through our schooling and college studies, have gone through this process. Especially if you look at science, they will learn about certain things. Let's say principle of refraction. The light, when it passes from one medium to the other, gets refracted. It changes its direction or it changes its course. Then you go put a prism or you put a glass slab and then you put pins on one side and the pins on the other side, and then you realize that how your vision of the pins, you thought it was in a straight line, but when you removed the glass slab, you found there was a slant, there was a deviation. And so also you try it out in various ways. And based on that, you know that when light goes through a prism-like thing, it gets further refracted, and because of that, dispersion happens, and then you see many colors. And all these you have to practically. One is that you read it in a book, and then you actually go to the lab and do this. So also everything else that you have done. Cooking, for example, you read a book on cooking, and you may think you have understood everything. But when you actually practically go and cook, that is when you know whether you have understood really or not. Like the daughter-in-law, new age daughter-in-law who knew nothing about cooking. She thought she will manage by reading a book on cookery, and then she would be able to manage her in-laws. So when she went to her new place, in-laws, the mother-in-law said, "You are the daughter-in-law, you have come for the first day. You must prepare some upma, uppittu for all of us." She said, "No problem." She took the book and went into the kitchen and read through it. Okay, you have to pour this much water. You have to put this much of rava or this much of other ingredients in it, and then it will be cooked. So she put everything. She put the oil, the water, the rava, salt, and all other ingredient in it, but nothing cooked. After a long time also, an hour also, nothing was cooking. So mother-in-law got curious and came into the kitchen to ask, "What have you been up to? We are all waiting with our empty plates on the dining table, and you are not reverted. What have you been doing?" She says, "I've been cooking, but seems like there is something wrong with the book. It's been 1 hour and the upma is not getting cooked." Then she looked at the gas stove, and that flame was never turned on. The mother-in-law said, "What kind of cook are you? You have put everything, but you have not turned on the flame." She said, "That was not written in the book." Our learning of spirituality is like this. We read up Ashtavakra Gita, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads. But unless you practically apply it, only then you know what have you understood and what have you not understood. These Upanishads are all like pointers towards the self. They tell you this is the way you must go, like the signposts or guideposts or milestones. They don't really take you there. Going there is the practical part of it, which you have to do it yourself. Theoretically, one may understand I am the self beyond the body and the mind, beyond the dualities of life. But when really the situation happens in life, that is when you know whether you've understood it fully or not. In 2020, 21, when we were reading all these books, Then COVID happened. We started all these things. But nothing happened to us, so we were happily reading, thinking we've understood we are the self. And COVID happened. And then testing started. And the government officials were there. And RT-PCR tests were being done. And what was the situation then? What was going on in the minds of people? That time nobody thought that we are the self. How does it matter? COVID comes, doesn't come, whether we are alive, we are dead. How does it matter? Nobody thought we are the ocean, we are not the waves. Everybody was, if they get it, they were scared that because of that, God knows what's going to happen, because nobody knew the cure for it. Nobody even know how severe it can get or what is the consequence. So some people who got it, they prayed, please save me. And those who did not get it, they thanks for not letting me get infected. Both failed the exam. Both failed the exam. Why? Because those who thought, thank God I did not get it, they were still so attached to their body, mind, and that idea of living that they felt relieved that they had not been infected. They did not contract the virus. And those who got it and they were put in quarantine, and everybody else, were roaming around while these people were caged, and they cursed and cried and complained, why this happened only to me? Why not to those people? Why not to these people? And then the fear, what if I die? What will happen to my family? What will happen to the future? All my plans, all my ideas. They also failed. They also failed equally, not more or not less, because when you get 0 marks, 0 is equal for all. And I told in my examination, either it is 1 or it is 0. Either you get it all or you don't get anything. So you did not get anything. Those who feared either ways, or those who rejoiced. And you never knew, second wave came, those who were rejoicing, they also got into COVID. While the first ones felt very happy, oh, we are immune now, nothing will happen to us. Again they failed. Again they failed. Because their minds were not able to accept anything with equanimity. They swung either on the positive side or on the negative side of things. So that is the practical exam. See, when you read these spiritual paths, many people say spirituality is very difficult. That's why Khambadi Manushanam Sahastreshu Kashchit Yatadi Siddhaye. Very few people out of thousands walk this path. Because theory part, most of them walk. It's very nice to hear shlokas, mug up some Sanskrit verses and rattle it out like a pandit. But the moment practicality comes, that life, the big laboratory of life starts testing all these theories. Your child dies, your father goes missing, your job is lost, you contract a terminal illness, your business is all gone, your good friends turn against you, there is slander and scandal flowing everywhere. You thought all these people were yours, and suddenly none of them are yours. Even God seems not to be responding to you anymore. Nothing is going right in life. Everything is becoming a failure. All your big grand plans that you were working on for all these years, they turn into dust. And suddenly you feel all alone and abandoned in this wide, wide world. And yet you do not flinch. You do not shake up. Your convictions are still intact. And you still remain equanimous without being affected by whatever has happened or happening or going to happen. And you still remain in that peaceful state of equanimity and accept things as they come, without classifying them as good or bad, without classifying them as favorable or unfavorable, without classifying them as nice or not nice. And you don't complain, you don't cry, you don't whine about it. That's when you have learnt the Ashtavakra Gita. And remember, now we are at the final stage of Ashtavakra Gita. So practicals will start soon. Theories will end and practicals will begin. You will face difficulties, you will face obstacles, you will face some kind of setbacks, some unthinkable or unimagined issues which you could have never even dreamt of, but those would happen. Because my teaching has to complete, isn't it? As a teacher, I have to conduct practicals also. I cannot just stop it at theory. So I'll start conducting practicals in a while. That's when your real conviction and understanding of these subjects will begin. Nothing should flinch in you. You should not feel even a moment of shake or a shiver or at that disturbance, imbalance. You should not feel. And even if you feel it, let us say, you should quickly recover from that and come back to the normal state. That is something that you have to find it out for yourself, because these practicals are not something that can be done in a laboratory. Or this is your compound, this is your mixture, find out what is the chemical composition, do some experiments. No, these are things that will happen within you, in that microcosmos that is lying inside you. And you will feel the strain of it, you will feel the stress of it, you will feel the difficulties, yet there is something in you which remains unaffected, unchanged, undisturbed. And you will have to find that quiet corner, that cave in your heart where you can go and steady yourself and let the world go by. If you cannot achieve that, your examinations you have failed. You got only theory but not practical. But theory is of no use, like the lady who was cooking the upma. The upma will never get cooked even if she stands there for 100 years, because she has not got it right. So even if you read all these scriptures for another 100 years, till the end of your life, nothing will happen. Your spirituality will remain immature, imperfect, unfinished. And then another lifetime to continue the journey from here. Like once you fail, you have to come back to the same class and then continue from the same class. You have to repeat everything. You will again repeat theory, again you fail in the practical, again come back to the same class. And this will go on and on and on. This is what is Janma Marana Chakra, the cycle of life and death. So these slokas which are coming up now, they talk about the person and his disposition in life. That is unaffected, doesn't complain, doesn't cry foul or beseech or beg or disturb God or himself in the name of I want the world or I want God. Both are not required, he says. You want bandha, you want to avoid bandha of the world and attain moksha, that also is not necessary. Or you want to enjoy the world and avoid moksha, that is also not right. Both ways, like the COVID people who got infected, they thought when the second wave come, now we are safe because our body has learned how to deal with it. And those who were not infected were rejoicing in the first wave, nothing happened to us, they got caught in the second wave. So practicals will happen for everybody. If not now, after some time, after some years. But this Ashtavakra that you are learning will test your faith and convictions in times to come. But just like anybody who is happy to write the exam, happy to go through the tests, because that will give promotion. Without that, you won't get promotion. You should welcome it. Whenever students, Bhagwan gave us an interview. He called our family. And then my brother asked Bhagwan, Bhagwan, whatever happens, please make sure that our faith in you does not shake. Whatever happens in life. He didn't say, yes, tatastu, let it be so. No, he didn't say. He simply said, doubts are like passing clouds. They will come and go, but you should stay. And like if you pass the test only, they promote you to the next class. So tests will come. You will have to pass and then only you get promoted. This was his answer. He never answered, here my Abhay Hasta is on you. You are my favorites. I will take care that no doubt will ever trouble you. Your faith will never be shaken. You will always have steady and easy and cozy life. Nothing he said. At the end of interview, he just said this. Passing clouds, doubts are passing clouds. They will come and go. You will get doubt about me, doubt about the scriptures, doubt about the truths I have taught, doubt about your own lives. But you should stay steady, the clouds will come and go. And what else he said? He said, unless you pass the test, they don't promote you to the next class. But we all happily write the tests. Now, if somebody amongst us says, I don't like writing tests, then we will tell them, you will never promote you to the next class. You stay in the same class, you will become 15 years, 20 years, 30 years old, you will stay in the same class. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to grow. Everybody says, yes, I am okay to write the test, though I am afraid of it, I will prepare and write, because unless I write, I don't graduate. Everybody accepts that. Same thing he said you should accept in your life. Tests will come, your faith will be shaken, and clouds of doubts will come, they will cover the skies, they will hide the sun of faith. Light will not be there, it will be darkness everywhere, but you have to wait for it to pass. And then there will be sun again, there will be light again. And this will repeat over several times in your life. Every time it gets tougher. Class 1 exam is very easy, class 10th is tough, and university is even tougher. But that is when you know you are growing, you are learning, you are getting promoted. And if you don't accept and embrace these exams and are not willing to take on the next challenge, you will never grow. You will stay where you are, you will never improve. So all I am saying is that both sides you should be ready for. to face the test, which will be a part of learning, and face it happily with all the courage and conviction. What can go wrong when God is in charge? That faith should be there. As he said, nothing is wrong or right in life. It depends on how you look at it. The glass is half full or the glass is half empty. It is your perception and your perspective. Somebody will rejoice saying, oh, glass is half full. At least I have half of the glass full of water. The second person may cry saying, oh, glass is half empty. I could have had more. So both attitudes are wrong. Neither getting excited that my glass is half full, nor getting dejected my glass is half empty. Glass is what it is. That is what has come my way. Take it, accept it, and be at peace. That is the idea of these shlokas. So we had already gone through 3 shlokas, I believe. The last shloka which we saw was that once you have change of taste, like the elephant which enjoys the sallaki leaves, does not enjoy the leaves of the neem tree. Likewise, a spiritual aspirant's tastes in life change. They don't enjoy the world anymore. Those gathering of people, incessant chatter, unnecessary gossips, and all kinds of unnecessary entertainment. Restrains himself. In fact, there is no restraint. He avoids all that. And even if he's amongst all of it, he doesn't enjoy it. So do what you want with him, he is not affected by that. So that is the idea that your very nature changes because you have established yourself in the swaramam, the self. And so outside whatever happens, it does not really affect you, doesn't entice you, doesn't attract you anymore. 17.4 shloka, 19th page. It says, Yastu bhogeshu bhukteshu na bhavatyadhivasitaha abhukteshu nirakangshi tadrusho bhavadurlabhaha. The one who, even while enjoying the pleasures of the world, which has come by virtue of being in the world, a good food, good song, a good friend, a good trip to some place, many good things can happen in life, which are pleasures, which are pleasurable. Even while enjoying the pleasures of the world, he does not become enslaved by them. Bhavati adhivasitaha. He doesn't become controlled by them, influenced by them, affected by them, absorbed in them, enslaved by that process of enjoying the pleasure. It means he'll eat good food and so be it. That's it. It's good food. Nice. Thank you. That's about it. Can I have it one more? Can I come again and eat it tomorrow? Can I have it forever? No such ideas arise in the mind of such a person. He's got it today, good food, he's happy. Then, abhukteshu nirakangshi tadrusho bhavadurlabha. It is very rare, bhavadurlabha, to get such a person. What kind of person who's abhukteshu? Even while seemingly enjoying the pleasures of the world, he is actually unaffected. Such a person is rare to come by. Running away from the world and hiding in the cave and not enjoying the pleasures is one thing. But what has been given to you by virtue of your destiny or by virtue of your role, you still enjoy it but never get affected. Abhukteshu. Bhoga is there but bhukta bhavana is not there. Bhoktritva bhava is not there. Kartritva, bhoktritva, 2 bhavas are there. Doership and enjoyership. Though he is experiencing the world and the pleasures, but he is not really enjoying those worldly pleasures, is how it is said. He is there but not there kind. Then Nirakangshi has no desires whatsoever, because if it comes, so be it. If it doesn't come, so be it. He is like that. Absolutely desireless. Tadrusho, such a person like this one, Bhavadurlabha, very rare to find in this world. Very rare to find. So Ashtavakra itself is saying, if you don't find too many people of this kind, don't be surprised. Because this is a rare breed. It does not happen everywhere, every time. When I went to Himalayas, they told me there is a Brahma Kamala which blooms every so many years, I don't know, 12 years or something once. So that time the tourist crowd is very huge because they all want to see the Brahma Kamala flower. Idea is there is a rare breed like the rare Brahma Kamala which happens once in 12 years and you don't get to see everywhere. It happens in some corner. There has to be too many conditions which should be right for it to bloom. So like that, such people are rare to come by. They are rare on this earth. That is why when such a person you come across who is like this, you should feel very blessed. Oh, I have at least seen somebody like this. Like a rare diamond, like a rare jewel. We go to UK to see Kohinoor there. All of us go to that Tower of London to see Kohinoor. We even pay to see that gem. Why? Because it is a rare thing. It's not there on every shelf, in every street, in every house. Once in a while such things happen. Such a person who is there in the world, yet the world is not in him. Who is enjoying the world, but the world is not enjoying him. Who is there doing everything, but nothing is being done by him. Such a rare person is very difficult to find in this world. Ashtavakra himself says. So I don't expect all of you to pass. That's what I mean. Even if one of you passes the test, I think I have achieved something. Isn't it? Some rare person who will get through this. All others will at best get good theory marks, but they'll fail in the practicals. Practical is where you get it or not get it. But without full practical marks, you don't pass at all. Even theory is wasted. Because no marks for theory. Unless it is coupled with the practical marks. So this is the idea. Such a person is very, very rare to find. We heard about Tripura Rahasya, in which this Hemaleka was there. She was married to Hemachuda, who was enamored by her physical beauty, and he begged her father to get him married to her. The father saw, who was a jnani, that yes, this marriage will lead to the good of everyone. Let her get married. So she gets married to him. She is a jnani. Hemachuda is a worldly man. He only wants to enjoy her beauty as a wife. So he is always busy trying to enjoy her. And she is hardly responding. She is there but not there. So one day he gets very disturbed, saying, I have been seeing that, is there anything wrong with me? Are you not happy with this marriage? You seem to enjoy no marital pleasures. You seem to not, in a way, be in the moment. Why are you not responding to me? She said, I am here. What is wrong? I am there, here. No, I can clearly see. You are elsewhere. Your mind is elsewhere. You are not a part of this. That he observed for some time. Then he started feeling angry first. Why she is being like that? She is insulting me and all that. But slowly she explained. What is this pleasure that you are seeking for? Even the insect in the excreta also enjoys the same pleasures. Ahara nidra bhayamaitanam. What is the big deal about you being a king and you are only wanting such pleasures from me? That gives him a lot of shock. He is almost humiliated by this statement of hers. She is comparing with an insect in the excreta. But he thinks over it. And again, next time when he wants to enjoy things, something has changed in him. He is not able to bring himself to enjoy the marital life. So again he goes to her and says, I am feeling extremely guilty and something is different now. I don't think I want to really enjoy all these things. Please teach me, how did you come to this state? Where you seem to be there but not there. You seem to be a part of married life, yet you seem like you are not married. What is that? Then she says, I am abiding in the self and not in the body and the senses and the mind. So my attention is elsewhere. What is happening to the body, mind is just on the surface. My attention is somewhere else. Please teach me also. Can I also be free like you? Of course you can be. You have to do this, withdraw from the worldly things. And so she gives step by step some instruction. This man climbs up a tower, 9-story high, so that nobody disturbs him, no sound, no, typical of new sadhakas. Touch me not sadhakas. Extremes. I will not eat this from tomorrow. I shall not speak to anybody from tomorrow. I shall not go anywhere, do this. He is like the typical first reaction, knee jerk. And climbs up, tries this. Sometimes he sees light, sometimes he sees darkness, sometimes he sleeps off during meditation. So he's struggling his way. But good that he started off. Then she goes one day then he comes to her and asks, what is going on with me? Then she says, nothing. You are simply trying to meditate, but your mind is slipping into altered states of existence. Sometimes you see some kind of hallucinations of light and colors and darkness sometimes, and then sleep off when you are tired, your mind gets tired. That's not what self is. It is beyond that. Then when she teaches, he realizes, he next goes into it. After some time, he loses his thing and gets into the samadhi state, that savikalpa samadhi, and he's enjoying that samadhi. His eyes are drowsy, he's intoxicated, there's sense of bliss, every hair is standing on its edge. He's absolutely thrilled. And then she tries to disturb him, tries to tell that this is also not it is, but he gets upset, said, oh, you knew all these things existed, then how could you even marry and how could you be even part of this whole thing? Look at this. In Hindi say, Tota chana baje ghana. Means empty vessels make lot of noise. So these new sadhakas who have experienced some small things, they think they have achieved it. And he is giving gyan to his own wife who is teaching him. Saying, I pity you that you are not staying in this state of bliss, that you are still, knowing this, you are behaving like an ordinary woman. She laughs at his foolishness. Anyway, she teaches further. that what is the use of that samadhi which comes and goes with the opening and closing of the eyelids. That 1 inch or 1 centimeter eyelid that opens and closes, your samadhi is gone in that. What is the use of such samadhi? Then he says, oh, so is there something beyond that? Of course, she explains. And then she explains the idea of sahaja samadhi, that you are always, your attention is there. Like Ramakrishna Paramhansa says, somebody who has a toothache, whatever you are doing, your mind is on that tooth which is paining. All the time. Even if you are teaching, speaking, your mind, your attention is there. Like a mother whose baby is in the cradle, even she goes on doing her daily chores, her mind is on the baby. Small cry from the baby, she is attentive. Others don't hear it. Why? Because others are not paying attention. That new mother is paying attention. So amidst all the noise of the vessels and the work, even a little cry from the baby, if the baby wakes up, she realizes and runs. In the same room, 10 people might be there, they don't realize it. Like a miserly person whose attention is always on the money in the pocket, keeps checking again and again whether the money is there or money is not there. Even if he's talking, walking, moving around, again and again he keeps checking because his mind is on the money, not on this. Or like a newly married man whose mind is only on the wife who is at home, even while he goes to work. This is how Ramakrishna Paramhansa says to say how one should live in the world. Go about doing what you have got to do, but your attention is elsewhere. That is why you are there, yet you are not there. That is why Hemaleka is there with husband, but still she is not there. Her attention is elsewhere. That is what bothers the husband, but she teaches him. That time she tells a beautiful story. It's a little complicated once. For the sake of enjoyment, I am telling the story. She says, first she did not teach him all these things. First she teaches about a story which is a parable, and it is symbolic. There is no real story like that. Like our Ashwatha tree. It hangs upside down and all. There is no real tree there. You can't find it. It is a symbolism to tell how the world operates. So in this story of Tripurasya, what she says is that she was once living with her mother. Who is her mother? The goddess Tripura. Who is goddess Tripura? The one who resides in all the three states of waking, dreaming and sleeping. The consciousness. Pura means city, 3 cities. Her mother has lordship over 3 cities. Not real 3 cities. The 3 cities are waking state, dreaming state and deep sleep state. Yet the consciousness remains. So she is Tripura. So it's all symbolic. So Hemleka says, I used to live with my mother, but she introduced me to a friend of hers. So I started playing with the friend of my mother. And we were very happy. My friend was also very good. But my friend made another friend who was very bad. And that friend was extremely crooked. The bad friend. And what did she do? The bad friend of my friend got her married to her son. So I had a good friend. The good friend made a bad friend. The bad friend's son married my good friend. Till now my friend and I were very happy. We were same kind. But suddenly my friend's nature changed because of the new marriage. So her mother-in-law as well as her husband, both were not of good nature. And because of that, my friend became miserable. Till now we were good, but now she became miserable. Because she became miserable, and she gives the name of all these people. One is the friend, which name is not given. Friends, another friend who is the crooked lady, her name is there, Shunya. Her name is Shunya. And Shunya's son is called as Mudha, means fool. Shunya means 0, Mudha means a fool. So she marries the fool, unfortunately, her friend, who is the son of Shunya, a lady. Now these two people have a son. His name is called Asthira, means unsteady. This Asthira fellow marries twice. First he marries one lady. Her name is called Chapala, means very restless. So this unsteady marries the restless. Unsteady is the grandson of her friend now. Her husband is Muda. Muda's son is Asthira. Asthira marries Chapala, very, very, very restless lady. Now this Chapala has 5 sons, it seems. And each of them invite this husband, that is that Asthira, to their palaces. They live in 5 palaces. So Asthira's children, 5 children, born out of Chapala, they invite. So first one invites, when he goes to his palace, he sees beautiful sights. Some day it is springs, flowery and beautiful colors. And some days he sees terrible things. horrible things. And he becomes very restless. When he sees terrible things, he runs out of this palace and goes to the next palace of the next son. There he has beautiful fragrances, some nice flowers and scents, sometimes very insipid and stenchy smells. So when he has good fragrances, he enjoys the palace. When he smells bad things, he runs away from that. Goes to the third son. The third son, there is nice music, sometimes good music like our people sing, and sometimes very bad music like our people only sing. When good music is there, he is rejoicing. He wants to stay in the palace. Bad sounds come like screeches and shouts and cries. He runs away from that palace, goes to the fourth son. In the fourth son's place, there are very nice, soft and pleasant things to touch, silk and velvet and things like that. But sometimes there are very hard things which have spikes in them or which have thorns in them, which are very rough to touch. Whenever there are soft and nice things, he's enjoying. Whenever there are rough and not nice things, he runs away from that palace and goes to another palace. Like that, 5 palaces he goes to. And you can easily imagine what are these 5 palaces, right? Our ears, eyes, nose, tongue, our taste also. One palace is of taste. So when he eats good things, festival food like here, he is happy. When he is to eat the regular food, he is angry. When it's insipid food, distasteful, he gets angry and he runs to the next palace. Like that, he keeps roaming from one palace to another of his sons with his wife, Chapala and Astira. This is his life. And every time he is miserable, he'll make everybody miserable, including his own mother. That is her friend. Now what happens? Astira, after having enjoyed one wife and 5 sons, still is not satisfied. So this Astira goes and marries one more wife. Her name is Mahashana, means insatiable. Mahashana here, insatiable, desire. So he marries this desire which is insatiable. And this desire has 2 sons. One is called Jwalamukh, means somebody who spits fire from his mouth. And the other one is called Nindyavrit. It means he is always being criticized by everybody for his bad behavior. So one is fiery son who is always, whenever he goes to his son Jwalamukh, he gets scorched, it seems. He's in his fire and heat. So he runs away from there. When he goes to the next son, Nindyavrit, he gets criticized by the world for the bad company of the son. The father also gets bad name. So both the wives are troubling him like this. He tries to take the things from the palaces, tries to please the otherwise Mahashana. But Mahashana is never satisfied and her 2 sons are never satisfied. The fiery mouth, that is Jwalamukha, and Nindyavrit, the critic or the one who is always criticized. So this is the story. So her friend will come, look at my husband, my son, my grandsons, my daughter-in-laws. I am in a terrible state of mind. I do not know where to find peace. But this Hemalekha says, I used to still stay with my friend because I could not leave her. She was such a good lady. And when she was miserable, I would become miserable. When she was happy, I will become happy. And her happiness and misery depended on what happened to her son and grandsons. All the time she is stuck in that. I used to feel pity, but what to do? I had one, and they lived in a big city of 10 gates or 9 gates, something like that. City of 10 gates, let us say. And in that city, there was one commander-in-chief who is in charge, and he would go in and out of the gate and main gate and keep controlling the entire city. So in the night when all will go to sleep, but this commander-in-chief will be awake and taking care of everybody's safety, that time I will take my friend stealthily with me, because if they are awake, they won't let her go. So stealthily I will take her to my mother. And we will spend some time with my mother. My friend will feel very happy and peaceful. But again, once they come awake, she has to return to these people. One day I told, this is how long this is going to go on. When you come with me to my mother, you are happy. When you go away, when all your sons and grandsons and husband are awake, you go back to them and then you are again miserable. How long will this go on? Let us do something. So what she does, she calls this commander-in-chief, imprisons all the grandsons, the son, kills the husband, and gets her friend married to a new husband who is a very good man. And now they are all living in peace. This is the story Hemalekha tells Hemchuda. Hemchuda, you can imagine, as such, he is dumb. On top of that, such a complicated story. So he tells Hemaleka, hey, you don't simply fool me. What is this story you are telling? How can there be a palace like this? How can there be people like that? How can somebody spit fire? How can... So she says, you will find out. She doesn't tell the meaning of the story. Once he goes through this process of spiritual evolution, then she tells the meaning that my mother Tripura is the consciousness, which is the awareness. I am Jiva, that soul that we think of, that there is a soul in me, which is nothing but the consciousness. Wave is nothing but the ocean. But for the time being, let us say if you take a picture, there is a wave. Now we are talking about this wave. Now this wave has a friend, the good friend. Her name is Buddhi, intelligence. She is generally good and given by her mother. Consciousness only is powering the intelligence. So intelligence is a friend of Jiva. If you think and discriminate and act, you are going to be very happy. Now intelligence problem is what? She made a bad friend. Shunya, remember? Shunya means ignorance. She makes friend with Maya or ignorance. So Buddhi got entangled into the Maya of the world, the ignorance of the world. And then ignorance has a son called Mudha, which is the mind. Mind is foolish. It gets influenced. If he sees something good, runs behind it. Bad. So this fellow Mudha is ego. Ignorance leads to ego. So ego is the one whom she marries. So intelligence has married ego. Ego is the son of ignorance. Now intelligence and ego together are a terrible combination, because ego does not allow you to be happy. An egoistic person is never loved, never respected. Now both ego and intelligence, which has gone bad now with ego, give birth to mind. And mind is unsteady. It cannot stay in one place. That's why his name is Asthira, unsteady. Now this mind marries Chapala. Chapalas are thoughts, because thoughts can keep changing every here and now. Now you are good, thinking good, next you will think bad, next you will think something else. So the Chapala, who is always unsteady, so the thoughts keep moving forward and backward. Mind, when it is full of thoughts, it is engaged in the senses. 5 sons are the 5 senses, that is eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin, touch. And he goes to palace to please me. Sometimes you are thinking, I must eat nice things. I don't want to eat terrible things. I want to touch nice things. I don't want to touch terrible things. I want to hear nice things. I don't want to hear bad things. This sukha prapti, dukha nivritti, this raga, dvesha, goes on and on. He's never satisfied. So he marries another one. Another one is Mahashana, insatiable. How much ever you feed her, she is not happy. How much ever gifts he brings from the palaces and gives to the second wife, she is never happy. That Mahashana is desire. Desires are never done. Mind keeps trying to fulfill the desires through the senses. But desire is never done. But whenever you fulfill the desire, what do you get? 2 things are there. Jwalamukha and Nindya. The fiery mouth. Jwalamukh is who? Jwalamukh is somebody who burns you. Anger. When your desires are not fulfilled, what happens to you? You get angry. You start blaming everybody. That is the first son. The second son is called Nindya. To fulfill desires, we do wrong things. Wrong things bring bad name to us. So these are the 2 sons of desires. Who are the 5 sons? 5 senses are the 5 sons of thoughts and mind. And 2 sons, that is anger and bad name, are the sons of desire. So all of them she captures finally, kills the husband. Husband is ego. So she kills the ego and gets the Buddhi to marry a new man. And that man is wisdom, jnana. So when Buddhi marries jnana, it goes to the Tripura, which is consciousness. So right Buddhi, right intelligence is very important. With that only we can attain divinity or consciousness. So that is how this whole story she tells and later explains. You can always sit and study what the story is and how it is happening in our body. And this city of 10 gates is this body. All the 10 holes of the body, 2 nostrils, 2 eyes, 2 ears, like that you count. 10 holes are there. So these are 10 gates. And who is that commander-in-chief? Prana. Breathing in and out to the main gate, which is the nose. So we breathe in, we breathe out, because of which the city is protected. If prana is not there, the city will not be there. So that is the story she tells to Hemachuda in Tripura Rahasya, which is again a symbolic way to say that. But what is important is that Hemaleka understood how the mind and intelligence and ego and ignorance and the senses and these thoughts and the desires and the sons of anger and criticism or bad name, how it all works. She figured it out. So she taught her friend, you have to kill your husband, that ego, and marry a good husband, which is wisdom. And she captures the mother-in-law, which is ignorance, kills the husband, ego, imprisons all the other mind, thoughts, senses, desires, and anger and bad name, everything she imprisons with the help of the commander-in-chief prana. Means if you have control over your prana shakti, you have control over your mind. That's why I tell breath and mind are connected. If you are very angry or upset, just breathe slowly. It will calm you down. Now it has become a medicine prescribed by Western medical practitioners. It's called some synchronized breathing or something like that, which is basically pranayama. Control the speed and intensity of breathing. That is why when you breathe slowly, you feel calm. When you breathe fast, you feel very restless. In meditation, your breathing slows down. See, other way is what? Start slowly breathing. Your mind will start settling. Mind is like a paper floating in the winds. If there are no wind, the paper will come and settle down. So don't give too much of breath to yourself. In the sense, breathe slowly. And a restless mind is the one which breathes fast. When you're angry, you see how fast you breathe. Or when you're restless, your breathing goes up. So the first step is to control your breath, to control your mind. When you are controlled your mind, there are no noises, then you are able to think correctly. Your intelligence is functioning properly. And married with wisdom of the scriptures and the Guru, your intelligence is liberated from the ego, ignorance, mind, senses, desires, and all the outcomes of desires. And that is how you can go to Tripura. Tripura is the mother, which is the consciousness. So that is the story which Hemaleka tells. So the idea is that Hemaleka was in the world, but she was not of the world. The world was not entering her, though she entered the world. She was like a boat in the water, but water was not inside the boat. Like that, who said run away from this place? Swami used to say, Astini alini vidi adivike gudu kaadu, bhavalone swartabhavambu vidite, dushtabhavambu vidite, tyagamagudu atane yogamagudu, he says. The one who does not run away to the forest, leaving home and hearth, but rather discards the selfish and bad thoughts from his head. Such a person is a tyagi, a man of sacrifice, a yogi, a man of attainment. He used to say like that. So that is why Bhagavan's spirituality is very practical. He always told, don't have to run away. If it's destined, that's a different matter. But otherwise, for a normal person, you can't. Where will you run away to? Can you leave your mind and run away? Mind is coming with you, right? So the problem is not solved. You're only changing the outside. That doesn't help much. So this is the idea. The next sloka 17.5 says, again this is something that I remember, Bubukshuriha samsare mumukshurapi drishyate bhoga moksha nirakangshi viralohi mahashayaha. Which means there are people in this world, bubukshuhu, who want to enjoy the world. Incessantly they're running behind pleasures. One thing gets over, they go to the next one. Next one gets over to the next one. They're restless. Bubukshuhu they are called, who want to enjoy the world. So bubukshuriha samsare, in this world you find such people. Mumukshurapi drishyate, you also see what kind of people who are mumukshus, who want God and self-realization. Both kinds of people exist in the world, and both are very intense in their pursuit of their goals. The desirous people also work so hard, 18, 20 hours they can work. Without sleep, without rest, they won't eat, they won't. But continuously they keep working because they're enjoying that whole worldliness. So they work very hard. These billionaires and millions, you think they work any less? How hard they work? Only because that is what gives them the excitement and the kick, as they say. And there are also people who are very intense in their spiritual sadhana. They're always engaged in some sadhana or other. Not a moment they waste. Those are also there. But second line says, Bhoga moksha nirakangshi viralohi mahashayaha. Very rarely you will find that great one, mahashayaha. Maha ashayaha means of great thought, of great thinking. Who are those? Who are free from both moksha and bhoga, who are neither desirous of the world nor the desirous of moksha, is saying. Now you will say, all this time you said mumukshutva should be there, now what is this new thing? It says that they are not desirous of it. They do what needs to be done, moksha will happen on its own. They don't excessively get involved with too much of sadhana just because they want moksha to happen by tomorrow morning. That kind of desires they don't have. They are there doing the right thing, and if you do the right thing, right things will happen to you where there is no impatience. Like our impatience is there, right? We meditate today and we expect by tomorrow results should come. Tomorrow God should bless me with some experiences. That doesn't happen like that. People have meditated for thousands of years and not received self-realization. How can we take it so easily? But somehow we are spoilt because we have got too many things too easily by divine grace. So now we think this also should just be put in a platter and handed over to us. Doesn't work like that. That at least doesn't work. So it says bhoga moksha nirakankshi. Those who are neither desirous of bhoga, the enjoyment of the world, nor desirous of moksha, liberation from this world. World is world, we are here. Whatever needs to be done is done. Why get more involved than that? Why think more than that? This is their nature and attitude. Ramana Maharshi was there. Some people came and told, let us build another ashram. Let us build a school. Typical of those hypers around the gurus. They give advice. Ramana Maharshi, I am not interested. No, you should do something because as a yogi, jnani, you have to. He told, no, that is not my way. Okay, so give us at least moksha. That is also not my way. Sitting quiet. He won't talk only. You go for his darshan, he'll be lying on couch like thing was there. His schedule was he'll get up in the morning, do whatever is needed. There'll be a prayer, meditation. After that, he'll get up, have his bath and all that. He'll go for a walk, feed the animals, go around the Pradakshina of Arunachala, and then that Giri, and then come back. Maybe has some breakfast with the people. He used to love serving the food to people, it seems, cooking and serving. That was the only activity he would do in the whole day. Then he'll come and lie down on his couch. And those who come, they simply have to sit in his room if he allows them. And what will happen? Will he speak after 10 minutes? Will he give a discourse? Nothing. Simply sit quietly. And after some time, get up and go. Lunchtime, he'll come, serve lunch, eat a little, again go on his couch. In the evening, he'll come, some prayers, play with his animals, cow, peacock and dogs and all that. Again, back to his couch. No talked with anybody. That's all his life was. He didn't want any activity around. That is one kind of life. What is the other kind of life? Vivekananda. Go around the world, go preaching about Sanatana Dharma. His guru didn't leave him till he did that. All the time he was rushing from here to there. Went through such hardships, traveling in the lowest compartment of the ship, eating food that never would go down his throat because that was what was available at that ticket price. And then when he landed in the US, somebody stole away all his belongings. And others, started throwing stones at him, saying this is some uncouth, uncivilized Indian has landed in the westernized, civilized society. So much he went through. But his job was there. He has to preach, spread Sanatana Dharma. So he did what he had to go to. A life full of activities. That's what he says. Towards the end he says, I'm done with this. Oh mother, I come to you now. I'm done with all this running, rushing, getting this, getting that, avoiding this, avoiding that. I'm done with it. I want to come to your embrace now, to your bosom. Give me rest. He prays like that. So two lives, two different types of life. Both lives are right in their own way. But finding somebody who neither wants this nor that, but does what comes to him, such a person is rare. Who's not saying I will not speak, that is my way. Who's saying I will do all these things, that is my way. Both are okay. Someday if this is needed, he does. Someday if that is needed, he does. His life is like water, fits in any vessel. If you pour it in a tumbler, it takes the shape of the tumbler. You pour it in a plate, it will become flat like a plate. Put it in a capillary or a tube, it will take the shape of the tube. It has no problem. Water like life he has, a very fluid, flowing, uninhibited life. So you can't say that you are enjoying this or you are not enjoying. He is not enjoying anything. Appears to be enjoying and engaged in things, but his attention is elsewhere. He seems to be very active, very, very passionate, very involved. That is what was the nature of Bhagavan. Extremely interested, at the same time totally detached. Both you could see in his personality. Sometimes you see like a childlike enthusiasm to do things. So excited. You will feel really is God, he's behaving like this, so excited about small, small things. And the other moment, next moment, he's just cut off from everything, as if he didn't even know you, he didn't even know what was happening. Totally cut off. It was very confusing for many people who were around him. The moment he will switch between the two, you never know. So one of the professors asked him, what is your true nature? Are you this or are you that? He said, I am neither this nor that. That is what I am. I am neither sound nor silence. So what are you? I am. I am not qualified by any adjectives. I am, that is my nature. Who will understand this? Only another Jnani will understand this. Jnani is what Ashtavakra says. Bhrantasyeva dashastasta tadrisha eva janate. Only another Jauhari will know that this Jauhari says Mirabai. Ghayal ki gati ghayal hi jane. Only one who is wounded will know the pain of the other person who is also wounded. Like that, only one Jnani knows another Jnani. But he was like that, his nature would shift like that. And he associates neither with this nor with that. Are you detached? No. Are you attached? No. Then what are you? I am. But you seem to be very attached. Not true. You seem to be now detached. Not true. I am. Sunlight passes through a red stained glass. Looks red. Is it red? Yes and no. Because the light that is falling on the floor is red only. But is this sunlight which is red? No. When it passes through a blue pane, it looks like blue light falling on the floor. But is it blue? Yes, also no. So what is sunlight? Is it colorless? Yes and no. Sunlight is sunlight. Whenever it takes, even the sunlight that is coming from the sky. Why the sky looks blue, why the water looks blue, all these are the principles of reflection and refraction, dispersion. Sunlight has no property. It is packet of photons, that's it. They're energy packets. Energy has no form, no name, no property other than being energy. So all these colors and that we see are reflections, not true. So sunlight, is it blue, is it red, it is green? In a way yes, in a way no. Likewise, is the Jnani attached and engaged and enjoying the world? Yes and no. Is the Jnani not attached, not engaged, not enjoying the world? Yes and no. Appears to be enjoying, so yes, but truly not enjoying, so no. That is how they are. Do I not appreciate good things? I do. You do good work, I will tell, very nice, I'm very happy that you did good work. Am I faking it? Am I lying? No, I am at that moment happy only with whatever has happened. But am I attached to that idea? No. Tomorrow you don't do the right thing, you get a scolding, you get corrected. Does it mean that I am engaged and involved in that? Yes and no. Yes, because that is needed for you to learn the lesson. No, because it doesn't matter to me at the end of the day. Can somebody live like this is the question. That is why I say there are bubukshus who are desirous of the world. They work so hard to enjoy the world. There are mumukshus who work so hard to run away from the world. But there are those who are neither running towards the world nor running away from the world. Such people are very, very rare to find, is telling Janaka. Because Ashtavakra can make us think that, okay, run away from the world now. That is the safest, easiest escape. Why get into things and then try to get out of it? Don't get into it in the first place. But this fellow says that doesn't matter even if you get into it, because you really don't get into it. And doesn't matter if you get out of it, because you really don't get out of it. Yada yad kartum ayati tat kritva tishtati sukham. Whatever comes his way, he does it and he is happy. That is the principle of wabi sabi, you remember, from Japanese people. Things are perfect as they are. Take it as it is. Don't try to be too insistent upon it should be another way. It may not happen. You learn to accept it with total equanimity. So these people are very engaged, yet they are so detached. Yet they are so detached. They can feel like they like, as you said, looks like they are one of us, but they are none of us. But they appear to be like one of us. They appear to be. Why? Because they get really, at that moment, they emote according to the need of the situation. They are actors, in one word if you put it. In a way they are actors who very well know they are acting. But when they are acting, you cannot believe that they are acting. You think they are real. Some of the actors are so good, right? They make the character come so alive that you can't think of the person as different from the character. They just go into the character. But next day you see them, they'll be walking on the street like anybody else. You will get a shock. I told you about the Ramayana story. Arun Govil and the Deepika, who are the actors. They got so much into the role, and the audience got so much into the role, that they thought they're real Rama and Sita. They'll worship them anywhere they see them on the street. These people got fed up. They stopped getting any more films, any more offers, because people didn't like them. People rejected them if they saw them in any other acting other than Rama and Sita. How long can you act as Rama, Sita? So these people, Jnanis, are like that. They'll be super engaged, super busy, and at the same time not bothered. How can this happen, you tell me? Only children can be like this, or Gyanis can be like this. Children so involved, making something with all those. I see these kids, no, which are Lego blocks are there. So much of intensity they'll make. Next moment they also dismantle it with same joy. Like sand castles, they make with such great interest. 2-3 hours they work so hard on it. It falls several times, they don't give up. Finally they get it, they jump with joy, and when they have to go home, they just destroy everything and go. How can somebody be like this, you tell me, in this world? It is so difficult to imagine that I worked so hard, I earned money, I had a family, I built a house, and all this is gone like this in a trice, and yet I am okay. Yet I am okay. I am not affected by it. How can that be possible? Somebody may wonder. Do such people even exist in this world? Yes, they do. For them, both are okay. Like sand castles are made, they are happy. They are destroyed, they are happy. Morning happens, they're happy. Night happens, they're happy. They are not saying this is how it should be, that is how it should not be. So those ideas don't exist in these people. Next loka is 17.6 on page number 27. Another concept is what you call bursting the myth, debunking the concept theories of our society. What it says, dharmartha kama moksheshu jivite marne tatha kasyapi udara charitasya heyo padeyata nahi. He says dharma, artha, kama, moksha. These are 4 goals of our life. We have already learned that. Dharma means righteousness, artha means wealth, kama means desires, and moksha means liberation. Every person is supposed to achieve these 4. Dharma, learn how to do the right things, the principles of goodness and righteousness. During your school days, college days, and throughout your life, you keep learning these things. Artha, with that you earn, engage in the society with the right way, and earn. What you earn? Earn knowledge, earn wealth, earn friends, position, power, authority, name, fame, whatever. All is artha only. All that we earn. Then what we should do? After that, attaining the name, power, position, wealth, knowledge, whatever skills, you fulfill your desires. I want to work as an engineer. Okay, have you finished learning engineering? Yes. All right. Now you have engineering knowledge. Now you become an engineer. Start working as an engineer. When you work as an engineer, you will earn some money, earn some name, earn some position, promotion, all that will come by and by. And you fulfill certain desires. Now I want to have a family, I want to have children, I want to build a house, I want to go here, go there, do this, do that, save money, spend money, all these are done. All desires are done. Then finally it all lead to moksha, he says. You should finally be detached from everything. What? All this life I built and accumulated, amassed and created all this, I have to let go of all this at the end. Yes, like the sand castle which has to be destroyed before you went home. What then? Why should I make one sand castle? That's up to you. You want to go through the motions of life, go through it. You want to never make a sand castle, it is also up to you. Not necessary. So from brahmacharya, you jump to sannyasa, it's up to you. No, I want to go to grahastha, vanaprastha, so be up to you. At the end, that castle will be destroyed. Know that. With that knowledge, make or not make is your choice. You want to get into the world, up to you, but you have to get out of the world. No, can I stay here? No, you cannot stay here forever. Children go to these jatres and all. While entering, they're jumping, they're bouncing, they're, flying actually, coming into the jatre, because they'll now enjoy all these things. They'll go on to the rides, they'll buy things, eat things, see things, play. How much enthusiasm while entering the jatre, mela. While getting out, mother has to drag, father has to drag. They don't want to go back. How much noise and fuss they create. I've seen a lot of children throwing tantrums when they have to leave. Throwing the legs, hands, crying, shouting, tearing these, yelling. And parents will give left, right, center and drag them out. Same thing is our soul. Our mind is also like that. Entering the world with great enthusiasm. Oh, I'm going to learn some new things. I'm going to earn more money. I'm going to make new friends. I'm going to set up a family. I'm going to buy a new plot, new house, collect money, invest this, that. So much excitement. But then comes the last ashram, sannyas ashram. Says now stop, not just stop, dump everything, give up and walk away. Then nobody wants to be ready. Only Yama comes at that time, dragging us out of this. That is what happens to all of us. So this fellow says dharma, artha, kama, moksha, this whole idea is false. This whole idea that you are, then why did you tell all these scriptures as saying that this is for those? So the idea is that dharma, artha, kama, moksha, these are not things which are to be pursued. If it has to happen naturally to you. Naturally learn the right things by being in the right company. You do the right things, fulfill the right desires, which will come by and by its own. Whatever is coming, you take it and deal with it. When it is such, then you are never find it difficult to disengage, because you never engaged in the first place in the full thing. You didn't enter with all your interest and might and heart. Therefore, you just, like in a hotel room, you go, you hire a room, you stay there, you enjoy the facilities, amenities, you see the picnic, you do all that, look around, everything. But at the end, you are conscious that this is not your permanent place. You have to leave from here one day. So you just walk out of there. While you might feel sad that I could have stayed little longer, but no, your time is over. The manager who was till now so nice to you will be so bad to you, rude to you, if you don't vacate on time. I have seen that. We go to, when you are entering the hotel room, they'll garland you, put tilak, do an arti. Because this is business for them, right? But room is only booked for 2 days. Second day, come 12 noon. They'll be standing like Yamadutas outside you. Sir, you have to vacate. Sir, you have to vacate. The next customer is on his way. All their niceties, kindness, welcome, everything disappears. The best is the air hostesses in the airplanes. When you enter, they have all the data about you. He's a frequent flyer. Okay, so they will nicely, may I show you your seat? May I take you here? Do you need anything? I am here. My name is so and so, all that thing. You feel, my God, this lady is so nice to me. She already knows me. She knows everything. And they have the preference also. Last time what I ordered, everything will be on their menu or whatever, on their computer. The pad that they carry, iPad like thing. But the moment it gets over, they say bye, and you think, oh, you made new friends and new good relations. And the same people, once you get out of the plane, they also will take their bags and they'll be going to hotels. Even if you cross paths, they don't even look at you, they don't even smile at you, they don't even recognize. You will be shocked. Last 6, 7 hours, they were so nice to me. And when I go out and I smile at them, they don't even smile. They just walk because they're in a hurry to go to their hotel and rest. Do you think they were involved with passengers? Do you think they were so engaged and so involved and so intensely, emotionally invested in those passengers and their comfort? No, it was a job that they were doing. That's about it. If the passenger starts thinking that now that ORSTS has become my lifelong friend and all, that is his foolishness. They won't treat them nicely thereafter. In fact, if you go after them, you'll go to jail for stalking them, scootering and all that. You'll go into a jail. They will complain that this passenger is harassing us. So the idea is that world is only so much, looks nice. Okay, enter it at your risk. Once you enter, enjoy whatever magic show you are seeing. After that, you know that you have to leave. So one whose attention is always on the idea that I have to leave this place will not get engaged too much in anything. Once you know you have to give up all these things at some point in time, why would you overtly get interested in things when you know it is not yours? You have to return it back to the original owner, or you have to leave this and go back to where you belong. Why would you overtly get involved, emotionally get involved and entangled is the question. So these people are like that, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Fine. As a part of life, it has to happen, it will happen. Am I affected by it? No. I will do what is got to be right. In fact, Krishna says nothing is wrong in this world. Blaming the world for our miseries or our difficulties is not the right thing. World is what it is, that's it. You have to learn how to deal with it. That is not going to change. World is not going to change for us. We have to change to deal with the world. We have to change our attitudes. We have to develop dispassion. We have to develop some detachment. We have to develop this sense of understanding and wisdom. What is real, what is unreal, how much we should involve, how much we should not involve. It is extremely, extremely important. If you don't have this right attitude, rather not enter the world is what I tell our people. If you don't know how to exit, don't enter. All these people, first thing in the airplane, what they tell you when you get inside, there are 6 doors are there, 2 in the front, 2 in the middle, 2 in the back. And these are the lines or the strips of lights that will lead you in case of evacuation. And they tell, why they tell you? Because it's important that you know how to get out of the plane in which you have gotten inside. Just in case something goes wrong, you don't know where to go out from, then you are stuck there forever. So even in a hall, everywhere you have to display exits. Here we don't, because anywhere you can exit. There are so many doors here. But if it is a regular place, there is only one entry and one exit. You put this is entry, that is exit. You better look around once you enter a place. How do I exit out of this place? Otherwise you will get stuck. That is the idea. When we entered this world, did we look at the exit sign or not is the question. No. We thought we will stay here and enjoy it forever. No. That being conscious of that fact that we have to exit this, leave this, that will only make us behave correctly here. While we'll enjoy everything, but at the end we know we have to go back to our original place. How Ramakrishna would do this? He will simply shift his attention. He'll shift his attention to the self while the world comes. You are eating rasgulla, you are eating gulab jamun, you are eating whatever, fine. People are coming, singing, talking, things are happening, fine. As if it is happening outside you. You are inside somewhere in a glass case. And nothing affects you, nothing enters you, nothing penetrates that shield around you. You live like that. This is the life of these Gyanis. That is why it is very easy for them to get over things. Others may get too involved and get emotional, but these people just walk out without any hesitation because they are never involved in the first place. They don't grow roots, as I said. That's why sannyasis were not allowed to stay more than one night in one place. They had to keep roaming, except Chaturmasya, where they were allowed to stay because it was raining and they couldn't have walked. There were flooded rivers were there, and they naturally cannot walk because a lot of insects will be there. They can get killed under their, trampled under their feet, and they also can be harmed. So they were allowed to stay at one home of whoever hosted them, but outside the home, on the platform that was there outside the house. They were never allowed to enter the house. That was their life. They were never allowed to stay more than a day in any place as per the sannyasa rules. Why? Because you should not grow roots. You should be always on the move, always on the go. If even a grahastha can think like this, which is difficult. Why? Because they have grown some roots. So you have to be conscious how much you are growing. When you have to uproot it, it will be okay or it will become a huge, humongous task. If it becomes a task for you to uproot all these emotions, then better not grow roots. That is the idea. But we all get married and have children and relations and friends without knowing this principle. And then when you have to let go of all these things, we cry. We want extensions in life. We want to live on and on to enjoy this. After that, another thing. These cravings are coming because of this idea. So this dharma, moksha, dharma, artha, kama, moksha also is a way of life which has been given because when you are in this world, you have to behave in a certain way. But in those who are desirous of only these things, who get entangled and become very, very particular about this, in their jivita means while they are living, and marane, in the dying. In the dying they want moksha. In the jivita they want dharma, artha, kama. So these people are one kind. But kasyapi udara charitasya, but someone, that one kaschid dhira, udara charitasya, who has that broad-minded understanding. This udara charita is not the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam udara charita, which is about broad-minded accepting everything. But this person is udara charita, who has understood the philosophy. He is not narrow-minded, who only does not see only this much of the life. He sees the entirety of it. That yes, if there is a dharma, artha, kama, there will be a moksha at the end. You don't stop at dharma, artha or kama. He understands all this has to be given up at the end of the day. All my knowledge, my wealth, my relations, my desires that I fulfill, everything has to be left behind. He is very clear. Such a person, kasyat api udara charitasya heyo padeyata nahi. Such a person has no idea of rejection or accepting. Remember, this whole shlokas are going that way only. There is nothing to reject, nothing to accept. Things are as they are, that's it. Deal with them as they are. Don't get overtly involved in it, then struggle to detach from that. Both are not required. Don't get involved only in the first place. Where is the question of detaching? That's why Mahakuru Yatatam Vigraha Sandhav says, don't simply accumulate things, says Shankaracharya, because it's very difficult to get rid of it later. Shatrau Putre Mitre Bandho Mahakuru Yatanam Vigraha Sandhav. Don't collect unnecessary friends or enemies or children and family. Unnecessary, don't do all this because this will become difficult for you to at the end get rid of all of it. If you know that your real goal is to remain free and established in the self. Also, I wanted to remind that people may say, oh, so you mean you should not get involved in the world, you should not marry, you should not have children, you should not involved in any of the activities. No, he's not saying that. He's saying if that is what is destined for you, that is what has come your way, do by all means. But do with this complete understanding that this is not all of it. Therefore, don't get too involved, don't get too inside so that you cannot get outside later. You have to take a U-turn at some point in time. You have to, all of us. In the Krishna says, Balam balvatam chaham kamaraga vivarjitam. In Bhagavad Gita he says, Dharma aviruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshaba. I am also the desire in man. Yesterday I told Smriti cha apohanam cha. I am the memory as well as the forgetfulness. Both is because of me, Krishna says. Similarly, he says, Kamosmi Bharatarshaba. I am desire also in people. But what kind of desire? Dharma aviruddho, which is not against dharma, which is righteous desire. I am that desire in people. I only create the desire. If you don't create desire in people, they won't do anything. Even the desire to serve or help or redeem others is a desire, right? It's a good desire that has been created by God in you to do something which He wants you to do. If no desire is there, the world will come to a standstill. So others have other desires. I want to go to Mars. I want to do this. I want to do business. I want to start. That is also a desire. As long as it is not aviruddha dharma, means not against dharma. What is dharma? Do good is what dharma is. As long as it is doing good to everyone around you, fine, it is okay. But if it is doing harm to others, only help to you, it is wrong. So Krishna says, Dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshaba. I am the desire, all kinds of desire in this world, but they should be not against the laws of dharma. So our scriptures are not saying dharma, artha, kama or nonsense, don't get into that. Moksha is all that you require. It says go through everything, but remember you have to come out of it. Go to the mela, enjoy all the plays, games, rides. At the end you have to come out of it. Remember that, he's saying. Build the sand castles as big, as beautiful, as wonderful as you want. At the end of it, destroy it and come out. And don't feel either of it. The excitement of building or the sorrow of destruction. Both you should not feel, he says. Stay steady. Knowing. So, sometimes it looks, when you look at such people, it feels that they don't have any life. They don't have any enjoyment. They are leading such a boring, whatever that life of no joy and no excitement, such a dull and boring life. You think like that, but they don't think like that. They are happy because they know, yes, while I can get a little more excited, but later I will suffer when I have to get rid of it. These people are jumping with excitement, and tomorrow they will not be able to give it up easily. If they don't give up easily, then they will get entangled. They'll be stuck forever. That's a huge danger. So they don't want to get into that in the first place. Why get in and then struggle to get out? Just be at the surface. Don't go too deep into the forest. Just enjoy it at the periphery and walk out. If you get too deep, you'll be lost. And once you're lost, there's no coming out. So they don't get too involved in the world. That is the whole thing. That is why Yukta Ahara Viharasya. That's the perfect shloka Krishna says. Everything in moderation. Yukta Cheshtasya Karmasu. Yukta Swapnavabodhasya. Yoga Bhavati Dukkhaha. Yoga is that which destroys sorrow. Why? Because it does not allow you to get involved into anything too much. Just enough. Even a medicine, if you taken more than the dosage, it will destroy you. Less than the dosage will not do any effect. Just right dosage. Likewise, this world has to be just enjoyed rightful way. Beyond that, you should not go. Beyond that, if you go, very difficult to get rid of it. It will stick to you. So how to manage that balance, how to find that middle path, the golden mean that Buddha would tell. That is the key. That is what is the trick. To remain in the world, not let the world get inside you. How to find that golden mean, how to find that balance, that is the whole sadhana all about. Because running away is also not permitted. Running towards is also not permitted. Then what is permitted? Just be at the right distance. The Bhagavan used to say, I am fire. If you get too close to me, you will get burnt. If you are too far, you will be too cold. Just be at the right distance. I as a student never understood what he meant. So many statements, amazing statements he used to make. We all would, like fools, we will nod heads and smile to ourselves. What a wonderful statement. What does it mean? I don't know what it means. Like this lady who went for a satsang. And when the Katha Vachak, the Swamiji was telling the story of Ramayana, she was shedding copious tears continuously through the satsang. This Swamiji thought, finally I have found one devotee of Rama who is shedding tears continuously with the very mention of Lord Rama. I have given so many speeches to so many fools. Nobody responded like this lady did. Unlettered village lady, so much devotion for Rama. So after the satsang, he out of curiosity goes there and says, Amma, I have never met a devotee like you. So much tears you are shedding whenever I mention Rama's name. I am so touched by your devotion. She said, no, I was not crying because of that. What are you crying for? She said, the book that you have bound with reminds me of the thread that was around my husband's waist, who is no more. So I am remembering my husband and crying. Moltadu, they say in Telugu. Moltadu means the black thread they tie around their waist. Generally, it was useful for multiple purposes, because to keep your dhoti intact, because when you were walking. So Moltadu was tied to most of the peoples. Also, it was some kind of a thing for warding off evil eye and all that. So that black thread that was around the book, that reminded her of her husband's Moltadu, whom she had lost. So she was crying, thinking of the husband, and this Kathavachak was thinking she is crying out of devotion for the Ramayana. Like that, we are also like that. Swami will say something, we will say, yes, such a beautiful statement. What is the meaning? Nobody knows the meaning of it. Only recently I have understood what he meant. That if you go too close to him, he is fire. Why? He'll burn away all individuality in you. You can't take it easily. He'll take away everything from you. Your name, fame, position, power, money, authority, friends, relations. Everything he will burn it. That's why he is difficult to deal with. If you go too close to him, he'll burn you of all your individuality, which is so dear to us. We feel lost when you are too close to him. He'll shake up all our convictions, all our ideas, all those constructs that we have had, what is life, how we should lead, dharma, artha, kama, everything is destroyed in his presence. To get too close to him, he'll burn you, that's what it says. Too far, you are too cold. You don't understand what he's saying. Little also doesn't go inside your head. Because you don't contemplate on what he's saying, you don't practice anything he's saying, that is the distance from him. So be at the right thing means, till you find the right, for everybody's distance is different. Be at the right distance means somebody who is more spiritual can definitely get closer, because he's ready to burn his individuality. Somebody who is not so spiritual, better be a little far, because you still need some time to absorb all that and slowly get closer to him. That was his way. So you want God, you lose everything else. Be ready. That fearlessness and selflessness, who has, you tell? God does not come along with other things. God is exclusive. If God comes, everything goes out. And if anything is remaining there, God won't come. It is not proportionate divinity. 30% divine, 70% worldly. Slowly I am getting to 50% divine, 50% worldly. I have found my golden mean. That is good for me. I will come for satsang once in a while. Don't ask me to do sacrifice, seva. No. Not possible. You are fooling yourself. You either get this or get that. If you choose God, give up the world. If you choose the world, give up God.